The man who spots the next great megatrend before the masses is the man who sits on a once-in-a-lifetime investment opportunity that could truly change his future. You saw it happen for those who got into the computer megatrend early, with huge 10-year gains in rare and exceptional stocks like Oracle and Microsoft. You saw it happen when the internet went mainstream, with rare and exceptional 10-year gains in Intel and Cisco. More recently, you saw people get rich jumping into e-commerce before the crowds, with rare and exceptional 5-year gains in Etsy and Shopify. And now, a new megatrend is emerging in 2021, one that's set to be larger than any before it. And if I may be so bold as to say, I believe I've spotted this next great megatrend before 99% of the investing public even knows about it. I know that's a big claim, and I don't expect you to simply take my word for it. That's why over the next couple of minutes, I'm going to give you all the details of what I'm calling 2021's hidden megatrend, and you can make up your own mind. It won't surprise me one bit if you haven't heard of it before. It's not 5G, self-driving cars, blockchain, AI, robotics, big data, or anything you've seen reported in the media as the next big thing. In fact, it's been entirely missed by most mainstream analysts, economists, and the talking heads on TV. Yet the scientific community is buzzing. They're raving about the piece of technology driving 2021's hidden megatrend, this machine. Because inside is a technology that experts believe will be the most transformative in history. They're saying it will have a far bigger impact on humanity than the internet, that it's one of the most important discoveries mankind has ever made, and that it could surpass the space, atomic, and electronic revolutions in its significance. It's a technology I call Imperium. Of course, it's not enough to spot a megatrend before the masses. You must also pick the right stock. And I believe I have the number one stock to take advantage of the Imperium megatrend. It's the small cap company that makes this machine, putting it at the forefront of this pivotal moment in history. And today, you have a brief window to invest in this company, starting with a small stake. You'll want to get in right away, because investing in Imperium now could be like investing in the internet stocks in the early 1990s, where, as I showed you, rare and exceptional historical stocks like Intel and Cisco shot up thousands of % over 10 years. Yet, the growth of Imperium could come even faster. That's because the adoption of Imperium is set to happen far quicker than the internet. You see, while it took more than 2 decades for the internet to go from 1 million users to 2 billion, Imperium technology is set to achieve the same feat in just 4 years. That's a growth rate 5 times faster than the internet. Put another way, that's nearly 200,000% growth in only 4 years. Think about what that means. If the growth rate of the internet was able to generate the huge stock market winners I just showed you, you can only imagine how certain Imperium stocks could soar as this new technology grows at a rate 5 times faster. Of course, past performance is no guarantee of future results, and all investments carry risk, so you should never bet the house. But the bottom line is, early investors have the chance to make a windfall from a small stake, especially because the growth of Imperium technology is all but guaranteed. Right now, the US government has a total of 10 agencies working on it, including DARPA, the military's advanced technology program that invented the internet. The world's richest men are jumping on board too. Jeff Bezos recently added to a $100 million investment. Elon Musk says Imperium is amazing. Bill Gates' investment fund is contributing to a $429 million investment, saying Imperium is one of the most powerful technologies of the 21st century. Mark Zuckerberg's $3 billion fund is heavily backing Imperium. And Peter Thiel, a man that Forbes, Fortune, and The New Yorker all call the best tech investor in history, he's adding to a $110 million investment. That's 4 out of the top 5 richest men in the world jumping into Imperium with both feet. And if you want to profit alongside them, you need to act now while Imperium is still almost totally unknown. See, unlike 5G, AI, blockchain, self-driving cars, or many of the other tech trends you've seen in the mainstream media, Imperium is an earlier stage investment where truly life-changing profits can still be made, but only if you act quickly. And I mean as fast as you possibly can. As a scientist from MIT put it, we are at the cusp of Imperium really entering the mainstream. You see, the same catalyst that sparked the explosion of the internet was just triggered for Imperium. It's now dropped to a price where the average American can afford it. This is the same thing that brought the internet to the mainstream in the 1990s. In fact, it's the same catalyst that causes each tech trend to explode. For example, when the first cheap PC hit stores in the early 1980s, computers were snapped up by millions of households. Cell phones flew off the shelves with the cheap Nokia and Motorola's of the late 1990s, and it's the same with tablets, drones, solar panels. All these technologies exploded when they became affordable. And now, Imperium technology has hit the sweet spot where most Americans can buy it. I'll give you all the details of what caused the price drop in just a moment, but the most important thing to understand right now is the scope of this opportunity. It's on a scale unlike anything we've ever seen before. Remember, Imperium is set to disrupt virtually the entire global economy as it's adopted 5 times faster than the internet. So it could catapult certain stocks higher and faster than most people think is even possible. You'll soon hear about Imperium on all your social media feeds. Your kids, your relatives, your friends, they will all be talking about it. But by then, you could have already cashed in on the Imperium trend if you act today. Imagine it. Not only will you be one of the few who knew about it ahead of time, you could also have a bunch of extra money in your investment accounts to show for it. This is the opportunity I want to hand to you right now, because I found the #1 small cap stock to cash in on as Imperium soars nearly 200,000% in the next 4 years. I'll give you the details on this company shortly. But before I do, it's important I introduce myself and tell you how I'm able to find opportunities like this one. My name is Adam Odell. I'm a former hedge fund manager and chartered market technician, or CMT for short. Now, CMT is a designation earned by analysts with a rare and deep knowledge of the markets. I'm honored to say that less than 1% of Wall Street experts and hedge fund managers ever achieve it. Yet, it means I have a unique ability to pick winning investments. In fact, my track record puts me among the best stock pickers and investment analysts in the world. In just the last 8 months, I've shown my followers, through my untracked stock picks, all these peak gains, including Plug Power Incorporated, a nearly 700% gain in 8 months. Dayco New Energy Corporation, a more than 500% gain in 7 months. And MicroStrategy Incorporated, also a more than 500% gain in 5 months. As you can see, in a little more than half a year, I'm proud to report I picked 24 stocks that have hit triple-digit peak gains. The truth is, that's more than most analysts get in a lifetime. Of course, nobody has a 100% track record, so not all my stocks are winners. But on average, these picks are beating the S&P 500 by almost 3-1. And the best part? How results like these are helping to change the lives of regular Americans all over the country. In fact, here's what some of my followers are saying about my research services. Kyle Wise said, "I've been following your advice all the way back to May of 2013. I have complete trust in your research and fully expect it to be hugely profitable. Kudos for purchasing Barrick Gold well before Warren Buffett." John W. wrote, "Overall, your results have been unbelievable. This past year has been the best in all of my years of investing." And Dave K. said, "Already exceeded the return I had hoped for, and my wife thinks I'm a genius." I've proven I can help anybody who follows me become successful in the stock market, no matter their background. And I'm not like the fast-talking guys you meet on Wall Street. I'm a small-town boy at heart. I grew up in the heartland of America in a little place called Huntington, West Virginia, a town of just about 50,000 people. There was one road in and one road out. My grandparents were blue-collar folk, factory employees who worked hard to make a life for themselves. And I'm extremely thankful they did, because they gave me the opportunity to pursue my dreams. So even though I eventually did find my way to Wall Street and even ended up running my own hedge fund, I never felt like I wanted to live among Wall Street types for long. I just didn't fit in. So a few years ago, I moved to Palm Beach, Florida to live by the ocean, and I took the position of Chief Investment Strategist at Money and Markets, an independent research firm that serves more than 250,000 readers. I'm now doing what I feel is my life's work, showing regular Americans how to invest in stocks that could help them retire rich. That's why I have my eyes fixed on what I call Imperium. According to my research, This will be the biggest profit-making megatrend in history. And I found the number one stock to take advantage as Imperium grows nearly 200,000% over the next 4 years. I'll give you the details in just a moment, but you're probably wondering, what exactly is Imperium technology? And what does this machine do? Well, this thing here reads your DNA and then digitizes it so it can be stored on a computer. It's called a DNA sequencer because your DNA is made up of a sequence of 6 billion letters. Here's an example of what a DNA sequence looks like when it's been digitized. As you may know, DNA is the stuff inside your cells that carries all your genetic information. Your eye color, your height, your skin color, all of it is determined by your DNA. That's why I call it Imperium, because in Latin, Imperium means the power to command. And DNA has Imperium over everything we do as humans. The thing is, up until recently, the process of sequencing DNA took a very long time and it cost a lot of money. The first time scientists sequenced all the DNA inside a single person, it took 13 years and costed $2.7 billion. At the time, one expert called it the outstanding achievement not only of our lifetime, but perhaps in the history of mankind. Yet, the fruits of this incredible breakthrough have been unavailable to the masses until now. You see, thanks to hardware developed by my number one Imperium company, which I'll now refer to as my number one DNA company, anyone can get their DNA sequenced in under 8 hours at the cost of just $239. All you have to do is swab inside your mouth and you'll get your DNA sequenced and uploaded to a computer in a single workday. Now you might be wondering why people would want to do that. And I'll get to the incredible benefits of DNA sequencing in just a moment. But the important thing from an investing standpoint is that it's now available cheaply and easily. And like with all the great megatrends, this will be the catalyst that brings DNA technology to the masses fast, growing nearly 200,000% in just 4 years. Now, the most exciting part is that my number one DNA stock is set to be a central player in this fast emerging megatrend. It's all thanks to their incredible competitive advantage. They're able to process DNA much faster than the competition thanks to a new kind of microchip they've developed and patented. It looks like this. It's made from silicone, just like the microchips you find in your computer. And it allows my number one DNA company to process DNA at 10,000 times the speed of the previous technology thanks to its unique nanowell technology. Before the invention of this microchip, DNA was manipulated in test tubes by hand. But now, it's a high-tech process that means DNA technology can be applied cheaply for the first time, unleashing the DNA megatrend. This microchip means my number one DNA company will play a foundational role in the mass adoption of DNA technology, in much the same way the company Intel was central to the rollout of the internet. In fact, Wired magazine even reported they could be the next Intel. How so? Well, Intel manufactured the best silicone microchips available during the dot-com boom, so they ended up providing the hardware for every kind of application on the internet. In a way, you could say Intel powered the dot-com boom. As a result, their stock made a truly rare and exceptional gain as the internet went mainstream. That's why I'm so excited about my number one DNA company, because just like Intel developed a microchip that powered the internet as it went mainstream, my number one DNA company has patented a new microchip that is set to power the DNA megatrend as it goes mainstream in the days ahead. Indeed, their chip is set to be used across all applications of Imperium technology. And believe me, there are many. But let's start with just the first one. Experts are saying DNA technology will revolutionize the entire $8 trillion healthcare sector. It's easy to see why. As many as 2 billion people will have had their DNA sequenced by 2025 because of how cheap it has just become. That's 1 in 4 people on Earth. And why wouldn't you? I mean, having a map of your DNA could easily help you live happy and healthy for far longer. As the NIH says, virtually every human ailment has some basis in our DNA. So thanks to DNA technology, we're rapidly approaching a point where we could end all genetic diseases. I'm talking about cancer, Alzheimer's, hepatitis, loss of eyesight, and so much more. As a recent Nobel Prize winner reported, It's really likely that in the not too distant future, DNA technology will cure genetic disease. Another prominent medical professional said the same thing. We will see DNA technology being used to cure all inherited diseases, to cure cancers, to restore eyesight to people. And this is set to happen far sooner than most people think. In a presentation on DNA technologies, former Apple CEO John Sculley announced that DNA technology has the potential to cure 85% of cancers within 5 years and to cure people with stage 4 lung cancer in a matter of weeks. This could save millions of lives over the next decades. It could save your life. It could save your loved one's life. You see, when you understand a disease at the DNA level, it means you aren't just dealing with symptoms like current medicine. So not only will you be able to detect diseases like cancer far earlier, with all cancers potentially screened for in one test thanks to DNA technology, you can address the disease at its foundation by simply deleting the disease-causing sequence from your DNA. Think of it like deleting a line of text on your computer. It will simply be gone with no chance of remission. As Dr. Eric Pierce says, once the DNA is edited, it's permanent and should persist for the life of the patient. And all it takes is a simple procedure. Yet it's not just cancer. All genetic disease could be deleted like this. This marks a quantum leap forward for medicine. And the microchip provided by my #1 DNA stock will play a pivotal role, just like Intel and their microchip did during the dot-com boom. And here's the most exciting part. Healthcare is just the start. I'm going to get into all the other applications of DNA technology in just a moment. But before I do, there's something else I want to address. You've probably noticed that DNA technology is not a megatrend in the same way the internet was, or any of the other tech trends I've mentioned so far. This is biotech, the combination of biology and technology. And that's different from the pure tech plays that have led the market for the last decade. And by extension, it's different from what people expect will lead the market in the future. But that's why you can get a jump on this. Because if the 2010s were the period when the FANG stocks came to prominence, the 2020s will be the decade when market-leading stocks come from biotech and DNA technology. It's already starting to happen. Over the last 6 months, biotech has outperformed the S&P 500 by more than 2.5 times. And DNA companies have outperformed by a staggering 7 times. And this is just the beginning. Only the average investor on the street hasn't realized it yet. And that's why DNA represents such an incredible ground floor opportunity. But don't just take my word for it. This is exactly what the world's largest investment fund, Vanguard, found in their deep study on upcoming megatrends. Now, this wasn't reported in the mainstream media, but they had their team of 8 PhDs crunch over 2 billion data points to discover what was going to be the biggest tech trend of the 2020s. They covered everything: 5G, self-driving cars, big data, blockchain, AI, all of the things you've probably already heard will be the biggest game changers. Yet they found DNA technology was not just going to be the biggest, it has even bigger potential than the internet in the 1990s. As Vanguard's global head of investments said, if I had to pick one field that was going to be bigger than the internet, it would be DNA technology. I keep stressing the point that this is going to be bigger than the internet for a reason, because it's the yardstick that all other tech trends should be measured against, as far as investing is concerned. If you held on from 1990 to 2000, you could have made life-changing gains in many great companies as the internet went mainstream. I'm talking about IBM, Intuit, eBay, Adobe, Amazon, Intel, Microsoft, Oracle, Cisco. Yet, DNA technology is set to dwarf the internet trend, meaning it will literally be the greatest investing megatrend in history. And my #1 DNA stock will be at the forefront of it all, providing the microchip that will power every kind of DNA technology, just like Intel during the internet boom. That's why I believe this is a dream, once-in-a-lifetime stock that everyone should put money in as soon as they possibly can. Because it's not just humans that will have their DNA sequenced, it's everything. Plants, animals, textiles. In fact, the $5 trillion global agricultural industry is already being transformed by DNA technologies, along with the $12 trillion food and grocery retail industry. Of the 100 crops that Americans get their food from, experts report there's DNA research going on in almost all of them. That means everything you see in your supermarket could soon be improved with DNA technologies. In many cases, it's already happening. For example, the next time you pick up food from your local drive-thru, the fast food you eat could come with all the delicious taste and none of the health consequences. I'm talking burgers, fries, everything. You see, according to Forbes, there are now 34,000 acres of farmland across America that are growing a special type of soybean with zero trans fats. Why is that important? Well, according to the USDA, soybean oil is the most widely produced and consumed edible oil in the entire country. Its primary use is to fry fast food. Now, this is a huge problem because soybean oil is high in trans fat. The best estimates are that trans fat causes up to 100,000 Americans to die each year from cardiovascular disease. Yet thanks to the American farmers who sequenced the DNA of the soybean and deleted the trans fat from its DNA, you could eat mountains of fast food while your cholesterol potentially goes down. Who doesn't love the idea of that? I mean, I know I would. Especially when these kinds of developments could also make you rich. You see, my #1 DNA company is set to provide their special microchip to leading agricultural companies, just like the one deleting trans fat from soybeans. That's why they're being billed as the Intel of the DNA megatrend. But that's not all. My #1 DNA stock will also be there to help companies revolutionizing the $35 trillion manufacturing sector with biological manufacturing. This is the next evolution in manufacturing, where physical products are made through biotech. It's already happening in multiple fields. Take textiles, for example. An American company now valued at $700 million is producing biologically manufactured spider silk. The spider silk is desirable because, as Forbes reports, it's extremely soft and strong, and it could make long-lasting, lightweight, and desirable clothes. It's stronger than Kevlar and far more elastic. In short, it's the Rolls-Royce of clothing fabrics. The problem is it's virtually impossible to farm spider silk. But DNA technology has solved that problem. By copying the part of the DNA responsible for making silk from one spider and manipulating it in one of their on-site machines, this company can produce silk quickly and cheaply. No spiders needed. Yet this is just the start, because it's not just things like spider silk that will be created using DNA technologies. In the future, it will create everything. As one DNA technology expert says, food, housing, materials, electronics, all will be disrupted by DNA technology. In truth, we don't know all the ways DNA technology will change the world in the future. Think about it like this. In the 90s, did anyone have any idea what kind of ways the internet would change the world? This is exactly the same. And like the internet, the incredible speed and scope of the DNA revolution will fuel the growth of the next stock market leaders. The best of the best investment opportunities of the 2020s. In fact, it's my firm belief that the biggest company in the world will eventually be a DNA company. It could easily be the company I want to give you the details on today, my #1 company for the DNA revolution. They're no more than a small cap stock right now. Yet as you know, they have the patent on a microchip that will power every kind of application for DNA technologies now and into the future, no matter what those applications turn out to be. Understandably, the microchip that my #1 DNA company makes is the first choice hardware in the industry. In fact, they have A-list clients lining up to use their technology. They've already partnered with the Broad Institute, MIT, Harvard, Microsoft, the $50 billion biotech giant Illumina, and even DARPA, the military's advanced research division, who says this microchip puts my #1 DNA company light years ahead of the competition. They are the only provider who can deliver the quantity and quality of DNA we need for our projects rapidly. And this advantage is protected by an ironclad patent. Their microchip technology cannot be copied. And that's exactly why they're being called the Intel of DNA technologies. Because like Intel back in the 1990s, they have a patent-protected microchip that ensures they will play a central role in an era-defining megatrend, the DNA revolution. Remember what this did for Intel's stock price. But you might be wondering, why don't more people know about them? Well, as I said earlier, DNA technology is still off the radar of the average investor. As one Forbes contributor put it, the DNA revolution is easily the most overlooked megatrend I've ever written about. That's why I believe this is truly a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Think about it. If you act today, you can get in on a company that has a monopoly on the microchip that will power the greatest megatrend in human history, before the mainstream catches on, and way before they potentially turn into one of the biggest companies in the world. But let me put it like this. If you could go back to the 1990s and invest in Intel, would you? Of course you would. Now, hindsight is 20/20, and no one can predict the future, so I can't promise you'll see the same kind of success that investors had with Intel. But my research is telling me you have the same kind of chance here. Only the rollout of DNA technology is set to happen 5 times faster than the internet. So the growth of this industry could be even more explosive, with scientists predicting it could grow nearly 200,000% in just 4 years. That's why I believe this company will be the best investment of my career. And as somebody who has outperformed Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway for nearly a decade, I'd like to think that's saying something. Now, I could go on and on about my number one DNA stock, how their management is filled with superstars, how their revenues are rising quarter on quarter like a rocket, how they're consistently innovating and pushing their technology forward. But instead of doing that, why don't I just send you a report with all the information you need to jump on board so you can buy in today? The report is titled The Next Intel, the microchip company powering the 199,000% DNA megatrend. And I want to rush you a copy right now, totally free of charge, when you take a no-risk trial subscription to my newsletter. Inside the report, you'll get the ticker symbol. You'll get a more in-depth breakdown of the company, plus my recommended buy-up to price. In short, everything you need to inform yourself to go out and buy this stock immediately. But that's not all. I also want to send you another report, one that could help you retire rich in one shot. As you probably realize, a trend as big as the DNA revolution is going to create a lot of huge stock market winners. So I want to give you the details on 3 more DNA companies that are set to explode higher in the days, weeks, and months ahead. Now, before I tell you about them, I do have to stress something. These companies are at an earlier stage than my number one DNA company. They're more speculative, cheaper to buy into, and so the risk is higher. Now, don't get me wrong, I believe they will be huge companies in their own right. In fact, I have them pegged as future titans of the DNA space. I'm just saying, don't bet the house. Luckily, because of the profit potential, you don't have to. You can make huge, life-changing gains from a modest stake. The first of these companies I want to tell you about is trading for just $2.10 right now. Despite their tiny size, they're set to become a key player in the fight to combat everything from cancer to viruses. They use therapies based on DNA technology to help a patient's immune system fight and eliminate disease on its own. And they're incredibly powerful. In fact, their number one treatment is so revolutionary, it's attracted 2 breakthrough award grants from the Department of Defense, totaling $15 million. Take this drug and your immune system can potentially fight off a whole range of diseases. That makes it incredibly valuable because it can dominate in multiple markets, including virus and cancer, even COVID-19. And that's the real X factor with this company. Their number one product is currently in an FDA-approved trial to see if it works as a therapeutic for long-haul COVID-19. Researchers estimate that 10% of people who get COVID have long-term issues. They've recovered in theory because they no longer test positive, yet they still have symptoms. This is called long-haul COVID. And with over 100 million cases of COVID worldwide, it means the number of people with long-haul COVID is in the tens of millions, with huge revenue potential for anybody who can solve this widespread issue. So if this tiny company's treatment works, their stock could go ballistic. Now, to be clear, this company isn't relying solely on this long-haul COVID trial. They have many other uses for their main drug. In fact, it's the only known therapeutic against chronic fatigue syndrome, a disorder that robs our economy of over $9 billion each year. So even if long-haul COVID-19 trial doesn't work out, this company could still be a great investment. But if it does work out, well, it's off to the races and the sky is the limit. I'm talking about turning $1,000 into $50,000 or $10,000 into $500,000 or $20,000 into $1 million over the next 5 to 10 years. Of course, nothing in the market is guaranteed, and this is a speculative play, but the potential here is mind-blowing. The thing is, I'm even more excited about the second DNA stock contained in the report. Why? Because they use an incredibly profitable business model when done right. I'm talking about the royalties business. Yet this isn't like any type of royalty business you've heard about before, because they're selling royalties on DNA sequences. Here's how it works. This company reads the DNA of plants, textiles, and chemicals, trying to discover sequences that have applications in huge growth industries, including medical cannabis, immuno-oncology, agriculture. When they find a DNA sequence they think is promising, they sell it to another company to develop. And if it works out, they get paid royalties on an ongoing basis. In short, they allow other companies to take all the risk and do most of the work, and they take a cut when it's profitable. What a business model, right? This company also has an incredible competitive advantage, a patented AI system that does virtually all the work of scanning DNA sequences for them. So not only is this company taking advantage of the DNA megatrend, they're using cutting-edge AI technology to leverage it. And they already have big-name partnerships with mega corporations like Bayer, DuPont, and Monsanto. In short, their profits here could be astronomical. I'm talking turning $2,000 into $150,000 or $20,000 into $1.5 million in 10 years. In fact, when I first spotted this stock, it was only $1. Now it's higher than $3, and it doesn't look like it's stopping. So you're going to jump in on this one sooner rather than later. Now that brings me to my final stock. I'll admit this one is a bit left field. It's nothing like your typical tech stock. But as I've said, the biggest profit trend of the 2020s is going to be biology and technology coming together. This is where tech stocks are headed. Those who realize that now could make incredible profits, particularly if they get into stocks like the next one I'm going to tell you about right now. This weird tech company could hand you the biggest windfall of your life. But why do I call them a weird tech company? Well, because they're farmers. They grow salmon. Yet their fish are different than any that's ever been farmed before. First, they're using what's called land-based aquaculture. That means they grow the salmon in filtered pools that simulate the wild environment, so they don't even need a wild body of water. And that brings down the costs while increasing yield. But the big thing that sets this company apart is their unique salmon. It's the first DNA-edited animal approved for consumption by the FDA. DNA technologies have been used to make these fish healthy, strong, and grow fast. Not only is this groundbreaking, it's hyper profitable. They were able to farm 70% more salmon while using 25% less feed. And the best thing is, they're absolutely delicious. No hormones or anything unnatural added. They taste just like wild-caught salmon. The global salmon market is worth $17 billion, and this company is already disrupting it. When I first identified them, they were trading for $2.92 a share, yet they're already past $4. Again, they don't look like they're stopping. I believe there is much more to come, and that's why this company is the third stock in my report. It's titled 3 Future DNA Titans Trading for as Little as $2 a share, and it's yours today free of charge if I hear from you. By the way, that makes 2 bonus reports I want to send you today at no cost. All you need to do to get these 2 reports rushed to you for free is take a risk-free trial subscription to my newsletter, Green Zone Fortunes. Green Zone Fortunes is my monthly research service designed to show you how to rapidly grow your net worth. Here's how it works. Each month, I select my number 1 stock in the markets. I'm talking about the single investment that I believe is best poised to make you money. To be clear, I don't only recommend DNA stocks and big tech plays. I simply go where the profit potential is the biggest. That means my number 1 stock of the month could be a gold play, an energy play, or even a banking play. My training as a CMT means I go deeper into the markets to find winning stocks than 99% of other analysts. In fact, I look at the entire universe of US stocks each month to locate the single best company on the market. First, I run all 8,000 US stocks through my proprietary Green Zone rating system. This filters each company based on 6 powerful factors that predict future stock growth, giving each stock a rating between 0 and 100. The handful of companies that get a rating of 90 or higher get the coveted designation of being a green zone stock. These are stocks that are poised to explode way higher over the days, months, and years ahead. Yet I don't stop there. From this high-powered list of stocks, I handpick just one each month. The best green zone stock on the market. This is the one company each month that has an undeniable X factor. It could be an emerging megatrend set to power it forward, like with my number 1 DNA stock. It could be an undeniable technical setup, or it could be a recent government mandate that's set to light a rocket under a specific sector. Once I've picked this stock, I send the details straight to your inbox. That's right, you'll get the ticker of the best stock out of 8,000, along with detailed research and analysis sent straight to you. In short, I do all the heavy lifting. All you have to do is read my research, choose to buy in, and watch your potential profits pile up. Since we started Green Zone Fortunes last year, our average monthly pick is thrashing the market 3-1 across open and closed positions. And the average closed gain is an incredible 31%, with an average hold time of a little over 3.5 months, with top gains like 124% in 5 months, 100% in 2 months, and 91% in 4 months. These are the kinds of results that could change your life fast. Like they have for Fred P., who is on his way to early retirement. He wrote, "When I signed up with you, I set a fairly unrealistic goal for myself to shoot for 50% annual profits for the next 5 years in order to retire early. Well, so far this year, I am at 95% return for my entire account and up $100,000. It's really mind-blowing. I subscribe to a couple of other newsletters, but yours is my favorite." Or Don L., who made a huge gain in just 6 months. He says, "I sold half my position in CSIQ for a tremendous gain of over $9,000 or 127%. Great stock choice and great result in less than 6 months." And then there's Vitus P., who's on an incredible winning streak. He wrote in, "So far, I'm up on 7 of 8 trades. I've recommended you to my kids and friends. I let them know I trust you because I'm making money using your research and picks. Plus, on top of sending you my hand-picked #1 stock recommendation each month, I'll also keep you up to date with the top 10 stocks my Green Zone rating system identifies each week through my weekly hot list. If you're somebody who likes to trade more often, you can use these untracked stock picks to potentially make even more money. In fact, in just the first 8 months of publishing this list to subscribers, we've already had 24 triple-digit peak gains on our top-performing hot list stocks, showing on your screen now. Of course, not every hot list pick is a winner, but with this kind of performance, you don't need a perfect track record to make killer profits. And on top of everything else you get as a member of Green Zone Fortunes, I'll also keep you up to date on all the happenings in the market, so you can become an expert in your own right. I'm confident my newsletter can help you secure the rich retirement you deserve. To get started, simply click the button that says, "I want to see the details" below the video player. This will take you to our secure order form where you can review all the details of this offer before making a decision. Join Green Zone Fortunes today and you'll get access to all this. 12 monthly issues of Green Zone Fortunes, including my #1 stock recommendation each month. The Green Zone Fortunes Top 10 Weekly Hot List. The Green Zone Fortunes Model Portfolio. Weekly email updates. Real-time trade alerts when it's time to sell a position so you can maximize your profits. Access to our entire back catalog of special reports and resources. And in addition to those standard member benefits, when you take a 100% risk-free trial subscription today, you'll also get the 2 free bonus reports I mentioned earlier. This includes your copy of The Next Intel, the microchip company powering the 199,000% DNA megatrend. But there's one more gift I'd like to add, the Momentum Principal Millionaire video series. In seconds, you can be watching all 5 modules of my Millionaire Masterclass on the screen in front of you. This exclusive video series reveals all my market-beating secrets, including exactly how I've smashed the returns of Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway for nearly a decade. Plus, you'll also learn my #1 secret behind crushing the market year after year. Here's a hint. It's more to do with age-old wisdom than trading algorithms and high-tech financial tools. Are you stressed that your retirement accounts aren't growing fast enough? In the masterclass, I reveal a simple strategy to help you play catch-up and boost your retirement income fast, even if you're close to retiring or already retired. I also reveal the #1 hidden indicator that tells you when markets are about to crash ahead of time. You won't hear this from your mainstream financial advisor, but when it flashes, it'll give you the warning you need to protect your portfolio. And much, much more. Now, the masterclass is valued at nearly $600. Even at that price, it's a great deal. Yet, you won't pay anywhere near that, or in fact, anything at all. The masterclass can be yours today for free when you take a trial subscription to my Green Zone Fortunes newsletter. This makes 3 bonuses I want to send to you today with a combined value of nearly $1,000, just for taking a no-risk trial subscription to my newsletter, Green Zone Fortunes. So let me tell you what it costs to join. Here's the deal. The normal price for a 1-year subscription to Green Zone Fortunes is $199. And frankly, that's a bargain. When you consider the fact that I'm in the top 1% of stock pickers and analysts in the world, with a record far better than Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway over the last decade, and you're getting details on my #1 stock in the markets emailed to you each month, the $199 price tag is a drop in the ocean compared to the value you're getting. And that's without mentioning the nearly $1,000 worth of bonuses you get the moment you sign up. But here's the thing, you're not even going to pay $199 today. In fact, if you take me up on the special offer right now, you can claim a full year of Green Zone Fortunes for just $47. That's more than 75% off the retail price, and you get nearly $1,000 worth of bonuses at no additional charge. To get started, simply click the orange button below the video player. But let me break it down. At the price I'm offering today, Green Zone Fortunes costs just $3.90 per month. That's less than half the price of the Wall Street Journal with far more valuable information. And again, you get nearly $1,000 worth of bonuses for free on top of the 12 monthly issues. To me, it's a total no-brainer to join now. And even better, for your convenience, we'll automatically enroll you in our Customer Continuity Program. So, 12 months from now, when your introductory membership in Green Zone Fortunes is up, your subscription will be automatically renewed for another year at more than half off the regular rate. This way, you'll never risk missing out on any of my research or stock picks. And of course, you can opt out of this auto-renew feature at any time. In fact, there's no risk at all if you do decide to try my research service today. You can give Green Zone Fortunes a shot for 365 days, and if you don't make the kind of money you want, or you don't like my analysis, or anything at all, you can simply cancel within the first 365 days and receive a full refund of your subscription fee. Regardless of what you decide, you'll keep all 3 bonuses I'm sending you today. That includes your copy of the next Intel, the Microchip company powering the 199,000% DNA megatrend. Remember, as DNA technology sparks the biggest investment trend of the 2020s, the stock in this report, billed as the next Intel, could help make you a retirement fortune. Imagine how relaxed you feel knowing your bank account is full and you could easily deal with any money hassles that come your way. That's the opportunity contained in this report and your subscription to Green Zone Fortunes. What's more, you can claim your free resources seconds after you join today and buy into my #1 DNA stock straight away. And I highly recommend you do if you're even thinking about getting into this opportunity. Because the quicker you get into my #1 DNA company, the greater your gains could be. So the way I see it, you have 3 choices today. Option number 1, do nothing and stay exactly where you are right now. If you're already well off and you don't need to stockpile more spending money for your golden years, then maybe you don't need to find out the details of my #1 DNA company or get a subscription to my Green Zone Fortunes newsletter. But if you could use the extra money, that leaves you with 2 other options. Option number 2, do it yourself. You can scour the hundreds of companies in the DNA space and hope to stumble across the right one. If you're willing to work hard and spend hours in front of your computer, you might be able to find some big winners. But what if you could have everything handed to you on a silver platter? That's where option 3 comes in. Let me do the work for you. I'll send you the details of my #1 DNA company right away. Plus, as a member of Green Zone Fortunes, I'll put my proven stock picking secrets to work for you and send you my #1 stock recommendation each month. In short, I'll do the legwork and send you my research and trade alerts. All you need to do is read it and place the trades if you decide to invest. And you can potentially help fund the retirement of your dreams. Seems like a wise decision to me, especially when you get a 12-month subscription now for just $3.90 per month. And it couldn't be any simpler to join. All you have to do is click the orange button below to review the details of your order before accepting. And remember, when you accept your risk-free trial today, I'll also give you 3 free bonuses valued at nearly $1,000. In fact, you'll get everything you see on your screen right now for just one payment of $47 today. Simply click the button below to review everything that comes with your subscription to Green Zone Fortunes. This doesn't lock you into anything. You'll just see the terms of the deal laid out before you in plain English, and you can decide then if our terms are favorable. I hope to see you inside our members area, and thanks for watching.